in this video, we're going to go over ganache. It's really simple. As long as you pay attention to the sauce, you're good to go. But there's another way you can do it, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's the double boiler method. It's basically you put it in there, and you can just do what you're doing and come back to it whenever you want, stir it up, and it's pretty much ready to go. What we have, it's pretty much, we've got 4 ingredients here today. We have our chocolate, which is number 1 for ganache. We also have corn syrup, heavy cream, and the last thing you add off heat is vanilla. And we'll show that a little later on. What we're going to do now is we're going to add all the wet ingredients into the saucepan here. What we have here, we have about 1 1/3 cup of heavy cream. And to get all of it, I got the rubber spat here. We're going to get all that heavy cream out of there. Corn syrup. And we're going to do the same thing, get all the corn syrup out. All right, and last but not least, we're going to add the chocolate. And what I'm going to do here, we're going to gently, so it doesn't splash, get all you can. Now we have all the ingredients in the saucepan. Now we're getting ready to put this into the double boiler, and we're getting ready to finish up the ganache. Okay, now that we let this heat up for a while, for like 10 minutes, we now are ready to stir up the heavy cream and the corn syrup and chocolate all together to form the base sauce of the ganache. Now, just keep on stirring it until it incorporates completely. And as you know, as you can tell, it's a little creamy still, but it will eventually be all chocolate, and it'll be beautiful. Once it's all incorporated, you can then take it off heat and add vanilla. Today, we'll be doing bundt cakes. Now, people always ask me at the market, what's a bundt? Well, a bundt is actually a way of forming a cake when you bake it upside down in a preformed pan like this one you see right here. What happens is you bake it, you flip it right the other side around like so, and you pull up, and then the cakes form this beautiful design, and you get a hole in the center. And what happens is the cake cooks much faster than normal cakes. These chocolate cakes we're baking today only take 18 minutes in an oven, which is pretty fast for a cake. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix the ingredients. This is one of the easiest recipes I have. It's dry ingredients, wet ingredients, and we're going to basically add those two together. Once those two ingredients are incorporated, you then add a cup of hot water to the mix to then finish it off. Once we get that done, we're going to put it into a sprayed pan, Bundt pan, and then we're going to put it in the oven for 18 minutes. In the bowl, I have 2 cups of sugar, 1 3/4 cups of flour, 3/4 cups of cocoa. I have 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Now, in the container I have right here, I have 1 cup of milk, 1/2 cup of oil, 2 eggs, and a teaspoon and a half of vanilla. You add this to the dry ingredients, and you incorporate. Take your spatula, get all the rest of the moisture. Okay, we're going to stop this. What we have here is just the first step, adding the ingredients together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape the bowl, make sure we get everything incorporated properly. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to lift the bowl back up, turn it on, and add a cup of hot water. And we're going to do this until it's completely incorporated. Now, the batter is a little on the runny side, but don't worry, that's normal. Now, the most important thing you need to do is you need to spray your pans. And don't be afraid to add spray to it because it needs it. Let's shake this a little more. There we go. Make sure you get every crevice covered because you want this stuff to pop right out. And always tilt your pan so the spray goes into the pan and not the floor. You don't want to slip on your butt, and it's not fun. I've seen too many people do it. Okay, now the pan has been completely coated. I'm going to take right here, this is a number 16 scoop, and you want to use 2 scoops per cake, okay? That's after trial and error. So I've learned it's very simple, just use 2 scoops per cake. So what you're going to do, you're going to tilt your bowl, and you're going to take your scoop and scoop it up just like so. Scrape the bottom so that way it doesn't drip all over the place. There we go, there's one. And you're basically going to repeat that process all the way through. And it is kind of messy, so don't worry. You get drops and stuff on top of your pan, it happens. No one's gonna hate you. Alright. Make sure each time you do it, you scrape the bottom of the scoop. Okay. Alright. Now that all pans are filled here, we're gonna put this, like so, into the oven for 18 minutes at 350 degrees. I just pulled out the chocolate ganache out of the double boiler to now incorporate the vanilla. Now we have at least here a tablespoon of vanilla. Will go inside this here. And basically you're going to stir it in. Now the reason why you don't put vanilla, you can actually change the flavor of the chocolate sauce on high heat, and vanilla doesn't really like being on heat. So what you do is you take whatever you had on the double boiler and you put it into it off heat. Okay, now that the vanilla is ready, incorporated, we can actually add this to the top of the Bundt cakes. Now we've just pulled out the chocolate Bundt cakes out of the oven. They are literally a minute or 2 out of the oven. What we're going to do is we're going to take these cupcake papers and we're going to smash them down flat like so. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to put these on top of these Bundt cakes while they're still warm. That's why they suck to the top of them. What happens is the cake is very moist, and when you flip it over, it's going to stick right to the paper I have right here. Instead of losing that cake, it's going to stick to the cupcake paper, and you won't lose any cake at all. All right. Boom. You keep on doing that until you get all the cakes covered. And we're going to have some fun here, flipping this pan over while it's hot. Hopefully don't burn myself. All right, and that's it. That's pretty much how you set that up. What I do is I double up the towel. It's in half. I double it up, and I put my thumb underneath and my forefinger on top, like so. You can see that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick flip, and I'm going to hold it. And naturally, gravity will pull the cake out of the pan, hopefully. If you sprayed it right, it should come right out. Okay. And you can see it come out when the paper hits the paper. There's 2. Now there's sometimes they connect and you didn't spray it good enough and they'll attach themselves. Pan's getting lighter. Just a little shake. Don't go too wild with it because, you know, they will break on you. I think. No, I still got some on there. we go. Oh, I did have some breakage. That does happen. We'll just set this one to the side. Now we have 5. Okay, magic. So, what we do now, this is the perfect time to add ganache. As the cake's still warm, it'll suck in some of the sauce inside that cake to give it extra moisture and flavor. So what we're going to do, by starting in the middle, we're going to pour the ganache into the middle. And you notice I'm filling up the whole void inside there. So that ganache is going to stay there like a pool. This is a great cake to serve for friends, especially in a nice party. Serve it warm, even better. Okay. I'm going to keep on going. Almost. I like to make sure there's enough ganache on the cake to make it look pretty. Don't worry about spilling, that's fine. It's going on the paper. You can take a little spatula and put it right back in so you don't waste any of the ganache. Okay, boom. And a little more right there. There we go. Now I have chocolate chips. Now chocolate chips, do you really need to add them? No. But are they beautiful to add on? Sure, why not? It's another beautiful addition to an awesome cake. This is it. This is basically, you're finished. You have just made, within 18 minutes, a dessert that is phenomenal. You can enjoy, have this for dinner, after dinner, and surprise your friends. I'm telling you, they're going to love you for this thing. All right, this cake is primo.
Hey cake poppers, and welcome to another fun and easy tutorial on how to make your own no-bake cake pops. It's so wonderful and it's going to taste delicious, and of course it totally cuts down on the mess.